Tonight was another big night. We actually went and installed Tailwind. So Tailwind CSS is now in the project. If you're curious how to do that, they have a nice, easy guide to get set up if you just Google Tailwind install. I, of course, went through for uh, a Vite project. Let's just take a quick look at the config file. So purging should get rid of any unused styling, performance enhancer, I guess. And then content is pushing out the Tailwind stylings to the appropriate files. Then if we go look at post CSS, this is just kind of default stuff. But your main index.css is just grabbing Tailwind styles. I did get the rest of my chess pieces in here, but what does Tailwind actually look like? Well, let's go take a gander at the board. So my chessboard is now a grid with 8 rows and 8 columns. Now I know for a fact this is probably not the best way to style this, but I'm trying to get used to using Tailwind a little bit more. And so I really wanted to try and style the majority of my stuff in this project using Tailwind. Um, I am setting the width to be 48 view width, so 48% of the visible screen, and then margin auto just to keep it centered left and right. Then for a piece itself, the reason I went with 48 view width is I am having the pieces be a width and height of 6 view width, meaning they should always be square, and they should also scale with the size of the screen. Not that you would really want to play chess on a mobile device on a website. There's apps for that. But I would probably set a breakpoint for phone sizes where instead of going with a 6 view width, I would try and use up the majority of the screen. So 8 view width would give us 96% of the visible space. And it's about as big as you could reasonably go, I think. I mean, you could do 8.5, I guess. I don't know. This is you could probably go up to 12. Um, this looks nice. I'll show off what that looks like on a Chrome tab, but I'm envisioning having some sidebars for like being able to chat with someone or have like some game data. So that's why I didn't want to use the entire screen. I did add a 1 pixel black border and set box content, so this is just to make it so that there's not little gaps with the formatting because the way these components are being generated on the screen, there were little 1 pixel wide white lines that I just don't really know how to avoid, I guess, using a grid with varying background colors. So just having a black border, it's not a big deal. It'll we'll call it a stylized chessboard. So again, this is just me trying to use some Tailwind. Now I am able to combine uh different different class names. There's this class names install you can do, so I did install this class names as a dev dependency. Um, so CX here, that's basically just letting us combine different class names. And so I'm able to use the variable class name and I'm able to use this string literal. Um, and that's a chess piece now. So piece.css, like I said, it was going to be a rather long file. This is for both active and inactive pieces. This is going to get even longer in the future when you have both black and white squares, but I'm going to try and find a nicer way to organize that so that the black or white, active or inactive, is in addition to the individual pieces so they can both be separate. I think I'll be able to manage that. It depends on whether or not I'm able to use this background the way I intend. If I can set a background color and then separately a background image with this styling, we'll have to play around with that. For now, I'm happy with where it's at. That'll be a problem for another day. But let's go take a look at the actual site. Here we go. So right now it's just the chess pieces. Um, I don't have the empty grid, but yeah, there's gonna be, let's turn everything green for fun. Uh, there's gonna be, of course, 16 more squares, sorry, 32 more squares that need to be filled in for the empty spots. And then we can start really looking at what's the back end going to look like. How am I going to grab the back end and turn that into a, in my head, 2D array. Got to figure out how we're going to represent the chessboard, and then looping through the 2D array that is the front end recognizable chessboard is how it's actually going to display on the screen. So it won't actually be pulling the chessboard from the API and trying to print that right away. It's going to interpret it as, in my head, just a 2D array of numbers or short strings for the chess pieces. That's something I've been trying to think through in my free time. But yeah, that's when we'll start to integrate empty squares as well. And then we can start thinking about, okay, well, with this chessboard that's organized as a 2D array, I can go grab some of my logic from my previous JavaScript project to be able to identify legal moves for the chess pieces. So it's really starting to come together now. Hope you guys are enjoying. Now it kind of looks like a chessboard, or at least much closer to a chessboard. So we're getting somewhere, 1 week in. So a little less than an hour of work a night, and this is where we're at. See you tomorrow.